Hi, welcome to Mindful Conversations. I'm Greg Dwyer. My guest today is Nina Anderson. You're probably wondering why I'm wearing these gloves. It kind of reminds me of Ben Vereen back in Pippin, back in the 70s. I'm dating myself. Nina, thank you so much for being on the show and coming back. So what is with these gloves, these wires? It looks like shenanigans to me.
Well, frequency medicine is the wave of the future. And if you can't see it, it doesn't mean it's not working. It's the same thing like you're a neuro-linguistic practitioner. I came to you when I first got my NLP certificate, and you were coaching me. And you sit someone down in the room and you talk to them. And you're trying to reframe their subconscious to get rid of the addiction or whatever the behavior is that they don't want to do. And they're not doing anything. They're not taking a pill.
Right.
It's the vibration that they're creating with the thoughts that are actually changing the way things come out.
Well, if I say a word to you, and I'm not going to think of a word, but if I say a word, it could cause you to focus to that word. And then you got to go inside of yourself and recreate it, whatever the word is. I do this thing in my lecture, The Magic of Communication, where I say a word like silly or depressed, and I can see people go into a state of depression just because I mention a word like magic, like a spell. So you're saying that you use this along with NLP training.
The word depression.
Right.
People already have a pre-programmed feeling about depression. So if you say, "Oh, I'm depressed," now if the body language goes down, maybe you'll get a stomach ache, and that has nothing to do with taking a weird pill. It has something to do with the frequencies that you're creating in your thought pattern that are affecting your body. So if you have an illness, say you have problems with your knees, you have pain with your knees, and you want to change that. What's happened is the body has sent a message to the organ, whatever the organ is, and it's creating inflammation, it's creating pain. Those are frequencies, those are vibrations. It's not something real. I mean, the body is basically a hologram. All the cells are hollow in the middle, so it's all communication electrically in your body.
It's like the Matrix.
Yeah, it is really. So you end up with the whole body is the acupuncture is based on that. So you end up going into the specific area in the body, and each area has its own frequency. They have tested this over 25 years.
Well, how do they test it? In like Petri dishes?
Well,
or what do they do?
I know what they've done with cancer.
All right.
There's a video on YouTube about cancer, and they have in a Petri dish, they have the cancer cells.
Right.
And they have established through years of research for a particular type of cancer. I mean, each cancer has a different frequency, which is really interesting. And the cancer, that particular type of frequency, if they put that frequency surrounding the cancer cell in the Petri dish, when the cancer cell reproduces, the baby disintegrates.
Wow, so you're stopping the process.
You're stopping the process, and eventually the parent will disintegrate too. Because what happens is your body wants to have homeostasis. It wants to be normal.
It wants to be balanced? Is that what that means?
It wants to be balanced, right. It wants to be balanced. It wants to have frequencies that are healing frequencies to keep you healthy. But if something happens, and whether it's an emotion or you eat something like a toxin that's really bad for you, like pesticides that the body doesn't like, it'll create a dysfunctional frequency.
Now, you mentioned this on the last show. You talked about cell phones and microwaves and flying and how there's a lot of turbulence in the sky. Do you also think, and this is not a question that is a trick question, I really mean this with all my heart, do you think there's a lot of frequencies that are going on that mess people up and put them off, just off emotionally?
Absolutely.
You do?
I mean, well, I have a nonprofit, the Scientific Alliance for Education, and we do a lot of study for electrohypersensitivity.
Okay.
And that's a new disease that's getting more and more recognized.
Does insurance cover it?
No. In Canada, they will give you disability.
They
will?
Yes,
in Canada.
And what's it called again?
Electrohypersensitivity is called EHS.
All right.
Hypersensitivity syndrome.
It's better than ADD.
Well, the thing is, with EHS, you can't be around any electronics.
Well, then television, radio, what about microwaves?
Television, radio aren't so bad.
What's bad?
Any kind of cell phones,
Okay.
walk-around phones.
What do you mean walk around?
The
cordless.
The cordless phone.
That's no good?
That's like having a mini cell tower.
I didn't know
Yes,
that.
I do healthy house inspections, and I take a meter in, and we were doing one the other day with a woman, and she couldn't find out where she was still getting sick from the electromagnetic radiation. We took everything, turned everything off. The Wi-Fi was off, the cell phones were off, everything. It was a cordless phone.
You mentioned Wi-Fi. I know people that say when you go to sleep at night, unplug the Wi-Fi.
Absolutely.
Is this crazy talk?
No, the Wi-Fi, the frequencies from all these electronics, they're alien to the body.
Right.
And people, because they're unseen, just like with you.
I'm feeling something.
If they're
I don't know.
unseen, they feel it's not going to hurt them.
All
and it's
right.
called non-ionizing radiation. They know ionizing radiation heats,
Right.
and that's not good for you. But this non-ionizing radiation is actually alien to the body. And when it comes into the body goes, you know, and it doesn't know what to do with it.
Do people feel stressed because of it?
They feel stressed. They can get violent.
All right.
It's definitely violent. They don't know what's going on. It can create, what it does is it actually, in the brain, it actually can, they've proven this, they're still, you know, making noise about whether it causes cancer or not. But it actually, there's a neurotransmitter in the brain, which is a little signal that sends the message throughout your body, and it uses calcium. And it has a check valve, and it opens and closes, you know, based on the calcium. Well, you put a cell phone next to your ear, and it opens.
No
and
way.
it doesn't shut.
No way.
And then all that calcium goes in, eventually calcifies, and shuts down that signal. So no more, you're not going to send the signal anymore. So it's almost like you're going to get early dementia.
No way. From a cell phone?
Yeah. Well, that's what they've been testing.
Okay.
So it's pretty scary. I mean, we don't use our cell phones much. We have wired computers. They're not Wi-Fi. I tell people, especially the kids who want to sleep next to their cell phone, that is putting an alien frequency into their body, and it's the blue light, for one thing, screws up the melatonin.
I know that.
So you can't go to sleep.
Because you open up the computer and that light, and it's 1 in, and now you can't sleep, and you're wondering why.
It's because you had the blue light.
Right.
But even the frequencies, the body, you know, eventually is going to get really tired of having to defend itself.
Right.
And each organ has, like I said, has its own frequency. So if you disrupt that and have an alien type frequency, you need to do something to reset the frequency to normality and have the dysfunction go away. And that's what the gloves that you're wearing are doing to you right now. We have it set on inflammation, which is a big thing in the body.
Sure.
And everything's, you know, they say cancer is caused by inflammation, you know, heart attacks, everything.
Right.
So the only organ in the body that is really not affected is the heart.
By what?
By alien frequencies.
Oh, I see.
Because the heart has a very strong ability to put out its own frequencies.
Really?
Yes.
I learned this from Anthony Robbins, that the heart has frequency, and you want to get your brain frequency and your heart frequency in sync. Have you heard anything about this?
It's like the Schumann frequency, which is like walking on the earth in your bare feet.
Okay.
Okay. It's depending on where you are. If you're right near a cell tower, the earth is sort of polluted.
Right.
But if you're out in the woods and you walk around in the summer in your bare feet, you're getting all this wonderful electromagnetic energy from the earth that is harmonious with the body.
Wow.
And that's what the heart is creating. So you've never heard of a case of cancer at the heart, have you?
No, I never even thought of that.
I know. Is that weird?
That is weird.
Yeah.
Say that again. So no cancer of the heart.
To my knowledge, they have not found.
So you got lungs, you got brains, you got prostate cancer, breast cancer.
Yep. Bone cancer.
But no heart. No heart. I never even. Now that's an original thought that I've never even thought of before.
It's amazing.
So why is that? Because the heart protects itself?
Yep. The heart has got like a natural, almost like a natural Schumann frequency.
All right.
And it puts out this incredible energy, and it's not affected because it's got so much more energy coming out. It's not affected like the other organs where they can be made dysfunctional and have an alien frequency alter their natural rhythm. And you need to restore that natural rhythm. And when you do that, the illness can't exist anymore.
Wow,
it's amazing. I mean, it's like NASA uses this up in the in the space shuttles and in the space station, because they found out early on that if you didn't have this kind of an artificial frequency being generated in there, the astronauts would get really, really sick.
Oh, they would.
Yeah, because they depend on. We're an Earth-based human, and we depend on these frequencies.
And it's void there, so they create it.
So they create it.
What about Sedona? They say, you go to Sedona and there's vortexes. Is that all true? What do you think about all that?
There were.
There were?
There were, and they still are vortexes. But when I went out there not too long ago, guess what they put at the vortex?
A cell tower?
Yes.
No, they didn't. That's ironic.
Yes. So now you're not going to get the wonderful healing energy because you're underneath the cell tower. how stupid, but anyway.
Yeah, you see these churches or synagogues
Right.
or these nonprofits, they'll put up a tree in their backyard and give the church or the synagogue or whatever a couple million, probably even more. And sometimes parents say no. You know, people like, I guess you would say no, wouldn't you? You'd say no to that?
Our like if you go to safehelpsyou.org.
What is it?
Safe, like
Safe?
store your money in.
Yeah.
Safehelpsyou.org.
Is that your website?
That's our blog. That's our website for our nonprofit.
Oh, very
and
nice.
And we've got a lot of information on there.
Okay.
We just are doing an article for Animal Wellness Magazine in Canada.
Oh, very
because
nice.
they talk about the fittings that they put on the dog, the GPSs, so that you can find the dog if he gets loose.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, it's a good thing if you want to find your dog, but if you keep that Wi-Fi device on his neck all the time, it's creating alien frequencies. So we've been in touch with a bunch of vets who are working with it, realizing what sickness animals are getting, like people are, from having these devices so close to their bodies.
Well, I've seen women put it right in their bra, the cell phone.
Breast cancer.
And I've also seen them put it in the back pocket, and I'm thinking to myself, is that safe?
The breast, they've shown that it definitely creates breast cancer, but men who put it in their pockets, a big article just came out on the internet the other day about the fact that it kills your sperm.
Oh, I was going to say prostate cancer.
Well, that too, but basically it eliminates your ability to procreate.
That's really...
So if you don't care about prostate cancer, maybe you want to have kids.
Now, I don't want to go here, but do you think it could be a conspiracy with all of this, or is that a crazy way to talk?
Well, who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? I mean, we could get it. That's a whole different subject.
That's another show.
What I'm just basically working with is people who have illnesses like fibromyalgia, which they say is in your head,
or Lyme
disease, right? Things that are sort of like mysterious illnesses that they can't figure out how they're going to fix them.
Right.
They can use the frequency medicine and it resets that. And also with the NLP, it'll retrain the mind to be how they react to these incoming things.
I just got a shock. I don't know if that's me or whether that's imagination.
Sometimes when you wear the gloves, there's little pieces of fiber that where the seams are.
Oh, okay.
And they're a little extra.
Okay.
And you got to cut them off.
Yeah.
But that at least you know it's working.
Well, how is this different from a Rife machine? I know a little bit about this gentleman. I think his last name was Rife.
Right. In the 20s, Rife just had something similar to this, and of course they shut him down, ran him out of town because it threatened the industry, the drug industry and everything else. Yeah. This company that has developed these offshoots of the Rife machines has done a lot more into frequency specifics. They've done huge bouts of research and testing, so they're actually finding out what each organ frequency is, and then you can program the machine to target only that frequency. Now, when they do the frequency for the cancer in the petri dish, the healthy cells next to it never got touched.
Right, because the frequency is different.
Was specific to that one.
So if you have Lyme disease or you have some other disease, you're going to dial up a certain code and it's going to attack that. How long would you use the system for? A week, a month, a year?
What the protocol is that we do is we have people come in and we do some NLP with them while they're sitting there.
Sure.
But we also, we ask them to detox, whatever method they want to use to detox, whether it's pills, whether it's going on a fast, whatever, for at least a week before they come in. Because you want to get your system clean.
Right.
And then we do a little detox program on here to get the kidneys going, your liver going, everything fine. Then we start the protocol for their specific illness.
And what's your success rate?
There's testimonials up the yin yang how good this is.
And you're not a doctor, right? You can't say that you're practicing medicine. You can't say that you're curing anything, right?
All you're doing
it's really important.
That's right. You're offering people something that can just restore their normal body energy. You're not saying it's treating or curing a disease. And oh, by the way, if it happens to have the thing go away, lucky you.
I just got another shock. Like I felt like you go in the doctor.
Well, you can turn it down.
No,
too,
no. I just want to pick another illness after we come back after this break. So we'll be back with Nina Anderson, a fascinating person. We're going to talk about health, and there might be something that we're going to talk about that may interest you. So we'll be back after this commercial break. Thanks for coming back to Mindful Conversations. I'm Greg Dwyer. My guest is Nina Anderson. I'm feeling these sensations. I'm not on a Broadway show doing any mime. This is about frequency. I have to ask, how did you get involved in this? I mean, how did you stumble into this technology?
I think part of it was when I started learning NLP.
Yeah.
And that's a lot to do with frequency. But then I went out and I got my Reiki certification, my Reiki 2.
So you're a Reiki master?
Yeah, not a master, 2, level 2.
Now, what does that mean? What's the first level?
First level is certain amount of training. The second level is much more training.
Okay.
And then a master, you have to do other stuff.
So are you going to go to that level?
Maybe, maybe not.
Okay.
But I know that I use Reiki a lot. I mean, I've done it on people.
Yeah.
But I prefer animals.
You do?
Yes. With my cat who had asthma,
Yeah.
I recently got diagnosed with asthma. So I started doing Reiki on him every night. The acupressure points where he absolutely needed to have, the asthma control. And he'd come up at night, I'd sit in bed at night because I would do it on myself as well. And he'd come up and sit and look forward to this every night.
Wow.
I did the Reiki. And then I found out that the frequencies coming out of your hands were like the Schumann frequencies almost. And so he could feel that.
So it's energy work.
It's energy work.
Yeah.
And then I started using the
this machine on your
frequency
cat?
machine on the cat, and within 3 weeks his asthma disappeared. And I took him to the vet, and she says, I can't hear anything anymore. What have you been doing?
Okay. Did you tell the veterinarian?
Oh, yeah, she's a holistic vet. She does
Okay.
a lot of holistic things.
Okay.
But he still comes up for the Reiki.
Okay.
I still do that during the day. I can do Reiki on myself. I do Reiki on a few people.
Yeah.
I don't go and do it in a spa. There's so many Reiki people in Berkshire County. So.
Oh, sure, sure. I had it done like 25 years ago,
Yeah.
and I asked questions. She comes in and she does the I call it Reiki. Is it
Reiki.
Okay,
Reiki.
so she was doing the Reiki, and then afterwards she said, do you want Thai massage? And I said, sure, why not? So we did Thai massage along with the Reiki. I almost needed to call a cab because I couldn't drive. I was so relaxed.
I know.
I was just like out of it. But
I had one person, we did a Reiki share where you get a whole bunch of people and you all take turns laying on the table.
Oh,
and
okay.
we had this one man, and I have the ability, I've always had the ability to do this, to find out where your hot spots are, where something's wrong with you.
Sure.
And I was going over his body, and I honed in on this, and I said, have you ever been shot?
Shot with a bullet?
Yeah.
Wow.
He had.
You knew it.
He had been shot right there.
I just got
Whoa, that's really
zap.
cool. Plus, when I was in the 70s, I went to school to become a psychic.
No, you did. Wait,
Yes.
wait a minute, stop. I didn't know this about you. How do you become a psychic? I see you're wearing purple, but how do you become a psychic by going to a school? You either have it or you don't, right? Or what happens?
When I was a pilot, I was flying for Air New England up in Boston. I'd come home and there'd be a psychic school in White Plains, and I would drive all the way down to White Plains.
Why wouldn't you
from
fly
Boston.
there?
Yeah. And we learned how to do psychometry, where you read, jewelry and things like that.
Because you take their jewelry.
And you can tell a lot about
Do you think that's true?
Absolutely, I can prove it.
Wait a minute, stop.
Not now. I haven't done it in years.
You have to come back. You have to come back. You say, if I gave you my ring from Israel or Rome or wherever, you're telling me you can tell something about me?
People have given me stuff, pictures.
Yeah.
This old boyfriend, when I first met him, he gave me pictures of his kids.
Right.
And I told him all about his kids, and he freaked out. He almost didn't want to date me again.
I know what you're talking about. I mean,
So.
people who can tune in to
Yeah.
your, is it vibrations? What is it?
I think it's you're tuning into their aura field is what I think it is.
Which is an invasion sometimes.
Well,
do you shut it off or
you have to ask permission.
You do?
Oh, you
Okay.
ask for permission, right.
I didn't know this about you.
Yeah, it was kind of neat. So we used to do psychic fairs. I haven't done it in years, but we used to do psychic fairs. And this one person came in, brought her husband, and says, or boyfriend or whatever, and he says, oh, he's going, right.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Oh, yeah, that
Right.
was just bad. So I told them where his apartment was, how it was decorated and everything else.
No, you didn't.
Yes. It just came out. I
So
didn't
let
know
me
what
ask
it
you,
was.
do you see us writing a book together?
Do I see us writing the book together? Well, we were talked about this 3 years ago. I just been waiting for you.
Okay, all right, so I'm just catching up. All right, so I'm just wondering if you saw the future. So you have the ability?
I used to. I haven't done it in a long time
Okay.
because I've gone on to other things.
Okay.
But it showed me the power of vibration.
Are you kidding?
No, I mean,
Wow.
and
I just
being
got another
able
shock.
being able to tap into somebody's, other aura field and things like that. It was really, really
Is it
interesting.
intuition? What is it? Is it a gift? Can you teach it to someone?
It's just, well, they taught it to me. I mean, we actually did an exorcism.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you kidding me?
No, we did an exorcism, and they had someone there that could bend andirons and things like that. I went, whoa.
How did you do the
I didn't
exorcism?
learn how to do
did
that.
you have a priest? Did you have a rabbi? Did you have a minister?
No, they were. It was we saw it. We watched it.
You watched it.
But the one that we did is they actually had us go into some sort of a trance and allow the key channel to open.
Okay.
Sounds really weird, I know. And then have your spirit guide come in, right?
Sounds like shamanism.
Oh, it was really weird. This was back in the 70s. That was all cool back then.
Were you in a smoke tent? What do they call
No,
those things?
we were in a
sweat tent.
classroom.
Okay.
And they came in, and man, this was nice. I felt like all of a sudden my body was sitting over here, and this other person was in it. It was like really
No,
cool.
wait a minute. You were out of body experience?
That's what I felt. Right.
Really?
And then
Wow.
then they had people talk, and I started thinking how funny it was if I barked. So I started barking. I remember that.
You did that on purpose.
Yeah, I thought it was hysterical. But then she finally came over and she said, "Look, this person," she said to the spirit guide, "You've got to come out now,
Okay.
because if you don't come out, you're going to make her sick because she's not used to this." And I didn't want it to end. It was really nice. And when they came out, completely collapsed.
But you did the barking on your own,
yeah, I
right?
did the barking. Well, no, I mean whatever. Yeah, but it was, I mean that, whether it was a power of suggestion,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't say.
Right.
But it was a really interesting experience. That was a phase of my life I went through, but it taught me that vibrations really do a lot more than you think they do.
Well, what about walking in a room? Like I do these shows, The Magic of Communication. I can walk in and I can read an audience. I can read people.
Right.
And I was talking to somebody out in Vegas about a month ago, and he says, we do it all the time. We walk into a room, we size a person up, we say things in our head. So why don't you just say it out loud? The intuition, the rambling, hey, this is what I think. A lot of times it's general enough,
Yeah.
or you just have intuition that it's spot on.
But it's also scary. Like people come up to me now and say, "Oh, can you do this and can you do that?" Well, I'm afraid to be wrong now. So
Oh yeah, yeah. You have a track record, right? You don't want to miss.
It's like so that's the way I feel.
You got to get over
But-
that fear.
Well, that's parlor games.
Yeah.
I'm into healing now.
Now you're talking my language.
Right, I'm
Yeah.
into healing, and I sit there and I go, if someone is sick and they've got an illness that they just can't shake and the doctors can't help them, why not try something?
Right, like
why
this.
not try the
Like
frequency
this. Yeah.
medicine?
Why
right,
not? Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
And with the NLP too, especially with addiction, to try to get over your addiction of
Yeah.
some sort. It's the wave of the future. So I've always sort of been on the cutting edge of that. So.
Yeah. So if people want to get a hold of you, I know you're going to leave me your business card, but they got questions. How do they get a hold of you?
Well, for the frequency stuff, we've got NLP, because I'm an NLP practitioner, right? NLP Berkshires, because I live in Berkshire County, Massachusetts.
Okay.
.com.
How long did it take you to get
NLPberkshires.com.
here? How long did it take you to get here today?
45 minutes.
Oh, okay. So you're not
Yeah,
that far.
we're right over the border from Canaan.
So you're
it's
like
not a
up
big-
near Stockbridge area?
No, we're in
Berkshire-
Sheffield. We're just 3 miles from the Connecticut border.
Oh, okay. So you're close.
Yeah, we're not close in Sheffield, so it's not so bad. But that's, people need to stay healthy today, and with all of the alien frequencies being bombarded with
Right.
them now, it's very, very difficult
Yep.
to understand what's really happening inside the body. And this is all cutting edge, so it's the wave of the future.
In my bedroom, I have one of those salt lamps.
Yeah.
Do you think they're healthy?
Salt lamps are fine.
Okay, they
yeah,
are.
mine happened to blob all over the floor, so I got rid of it. But salt lamps are
Why
really
did it
good.
blob all over the floor?
It was a light one.
Yeah.
And I don't know. They say they do that after a while.
Oh, okay.
They
All right.
get the moisture gets to them and stuff like that.
All
But
right.
salt lamps are good. The electrolytes I put in
Yeah,
my
talk
water.
about the water. Talk about the water that you're drinking.
Any chlorine and fluoride is not good for your body.
That I know. Chlorine,
Yeah,
chlorine,
you're right.
and fluoride.
And any pesticides and stuff. So I purify the water at home.
How do you do it?
I have an alkalizing machine.
Okay.
Okay, and also have a reverse osmosis machine. But that still takes out a lot of the minerals. So I actually make a mineral solution called Electroblast, which we've had on the market for like 20 years. And you squirt it in there, and it's
Oh, I remember that. You gave me some
Yeah.
sometime. You squirt it in. I remember
squirt
that.
it in, and
yeah.
it gives you not just sodium, potassium like you'd get in some of the sports drinks, but it gives you all the full complements of electrolytes that are going to help the brain.
Okay.
So when we have people come into to our session, we give them water with the electrolytes in it, because you need to be hydrated when you're using this machine, because water transfers a lot of electricity.
Okay.
So you need to be hydrated, and if you're just using bottled water, you might get dehydrated because it's taking the minerals out of your body because it has no minerals in it. So we put the minerals back in.
Do you ever do seminars up near your neck of the woods and have people come in and talk about
We
this
haven't
stuff?
yet.
Okay,
No,
because I
we
could
haven't.
see that being very.
Yeah, it would be
very-
nice, but people are kind of weird if they can't. It's not a pill, or they can't put something in their mouth or
Really?
touch something. They haven't. Most people haven't gotten there yet. More for their animals
Oh yeah,
than they would be for.
they're concerned more about their pets than they are
Right,
their own health.
right.
But if you don't have your health, you have nothing. I mean,
That's right.
You can't think, you can't work, you can't enjoy
Absolutely.
your family.
Yeah,
I mean,
my
it's-
sister has just got diagnosed with bone cancer, and they gave her a drug which shut her kidneys down. She had to go on
Oh, no.
dialysis.
Oh no.
She's back normal now.
Yep, that's
But
good.
she's still on the drug, and once she gets through this phase, she's gonna, start using the frequency medicine to actually get rid of the cancer. Because they always say you can never cure cancer; you can just put it in remission. But we're going to see what happens with.
I would think if this stuff works, then the medical field might want to be knocking on your door and telling you to cease and desist.
Absolutely.
Are you concerned about
well,
that?
you're not curing anything.
You're not. We're not
You know,
curing
and
anything.
you're not really treating a disease.
Okay.
All you're doing is trying to restore the balance in your body,
Right.
just like you do with yoga.
Yeah.
Or anything like that.
What about meditation? Do you do meditation at all?
Absolutely, every day.
You do every day.
Oh, yeah.
How important is meditation?
I think meditation is really good. First of all, when you meditate and you get way, way down,
Yeah.
it's changing your frequency of your body.
It is.
It is, absolutely. And it's also reducing the stress, and meditation is extremely important.
What I like about meditation is the fact that you can be aware of your thoughts. And for me, and I'm sure you've done it too, you realize a lot of the things that you believe are just not true. It's just crazy talk.
Yeah.
And you just say, I don't know. A friend of mine out in Vegas said this to me the other day. He said, we know about 4% of all the knowledge. So I know 4%. If I were to walk in and take a test on biology or frequency or history, let's say history, and I were to take a test and I got a 4%, that means I failed. And he said, do you realize that every single person is walking around with just a little bit of knowledge? And we don't know anything else. We think we know everything. So when I meditate, I realize what I don't know, and I realize that life is a mystery.
You also can hear better.
I can hear. What'd you say?
you-
I'm just kidding. We got to have you back. Do you believe in UFOs?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, I was a stab in the dark. We're going to have you back, and I'm gonna hook up with another frequency probably in the future with you. And tell the audience how to get a hold of you.
Okay, it's nlpberkshires.com, just 3 miles over the Connecticut border. And, we
Excellent.
can have a free consultation if you want to chit-chat and find out more.
Excellent. Nina, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I hope we gave you something to think about. I'm Greg Dwyer. We'll talk to you next time.